Ready for Revolution, Brother Eric Teray Muhammad here. And it only took 7 minutes to finally load up this stream. But I hope we're going to give it a little bit to populate. Share, everyone. Let everyone know we're on. Let everyone know that we are on. Okay, I finally see it. Brother Jeff, Brother Jihad, welcome. Halim, salam, alaikum, welcome. Do it any way you can, family. Watch party, whatever you need to do in order to get the word out. I think this will be great for all of us who intend to make this 90-day run. This run is week 2 of the 90 days. Our subject matter is the warm list, your tool for building your saving and your business, your savings and your business. Okay. So share with everyone, give watch parties, do all that you can to get this out, because I think it's going to be really good for us. We worked on it pretty hard, and I hope we're ready. Okay, so what is a warm list? A warm list is a group of individuals from your past or present that when you pick up the telephone to call them, they would recognize you when they hear your voice, when they hear your name. That's the warm list. Okay, so with the warm list, it's very important to understand that our desire is to build a people business. Okay, that's what the world of networking is. That's what it's predicated on. All right, so a warm list, again, is a group of individuals from your past or present that when you pick up the telephone to call them, they would recognize you when they hear your name. Now, of course, I'm dating myself. When I say telephone, folks don't say that. They say when I grab the cell, or the phone, but telephone, okay? We are in the people building business, and it's also known as relationship marketing. I have a misspell there, forgive me. The larger your warm list, the more solidly you will establish your business. It is the edge for your success. To ignore what a warm list is and the power of it is just like just going out on the street corners and selling products with no relationship to the community, no relationship to the people you're trying to address. And what you're doing then is really cold canvassing, hoping that someone notices, hoping that someone's attention you'll gain, hoping that they'll build a certain rapport with you to get your product recognized, to get your objective met. But see, with a warm list, it's very, very critical, because warm means just that, something that's familiar, something that is comforting, something that will allow you to grow in confidence, that will allow you to grow in courage, all right? To be more refined, to develop refinement, so you'll be that professional when you do go beyond the comfort zone of warmth into cold canvassing or cold calling or cold activity. Okay, so let's look at a couple of things, because it is about relationships. You are building a network for your net worth. Now, this applies to whether you are wealth building just to save in the premier savings platform that we have in the world of Karatbars International, or if you're looking to build as a business, meaning you're doing more math, meaning you're not only earning once a month from a free savings position, which many of you have, and if you don't have it yet, I encourage you to go out and get it today, because there are windows closing on opportunity. So you need to go out and get in and on to your free gold savings account today. Get back to the one who introduced this information to you about Karatbars International. Inbox me directly in the event that you have not received any information before. And those who know it as wealth builders, share it and put your link on it and share it out with your teams and distribution outlets. Okay, so you are building for your net worth. You're building a network for your net worth. What happens when you save gold in the world of Karatbars? When you save in gold, you're adding measure or value to your sense of self, because you're taking the paper dollar that has little to no value and you're exchanging it for its face value in an appreciating asset, which is gold. You know, as a wealth builder, you're automatically a networker because you have to build relationships. You have to relationship build to yield the true success in building massive wealth. We are firmly convinced, I am living proof of growing into this, that the more you seek to help people, the more you'll benefit. Because you can't truly benefit in the world of networking if you're not looking to help others first. So we save in gold, right? And when we exchange the US dollar for those of us in the US, you exchange that dollar, that paper dollar, for its face value in gold, immediately value is added to your net worth, because immediately you've gained a sense of value, because you've gained an asset that acquires, that is duty bound to appreciate. Why is gold duty bound to appreciate? Because of its scarcity. God ain't making no more. Excuse the vernacular. All right. It's not making any more. All right. So it's rare in its ability, or rather in its creation, because you can't create or recreate gold. Gold is what it is. All right. And so that's number one. Secondly, the value is based off of the labor that's put into extracting it from the earth, from its core. Any of you who have not seen the magnificent presentation of our Karatbars officials in the mines there in Brazil, you need to go back to my YouTube page, Eric Teray Muhammad, and take a look at what happened. We premiered it during our Gramathon, our Gold Gramathon, which was held last week, Friday, worldwide. Okay, so when you save in the asset, you automatically appreciate, because you're exchanging nothing for something. You're exchanging trash, or cash rather, for pure value. But now it can exponentiate, because if you duplicate that process, let's say you, John, are a wealth builder, you have your free gold savings account, and I sponsored you in your free gold savings account. Now you decide you're going to sign up your wife, and then you're going to sign up your children, 18 and older, and they fall left, right, left, right, left, right in the dynamic or the matrix of the program. But in terms of just saving, you're viewed as a unilevel, because each person that's brought on is brought on as a member of your team. So you sign up your wife, you sign up your daughter, you sign up your son, you sign up your friend, you sign up a business partner or colleague. Each individual is known as a team. All right. Now that team might be the individual who's responsible for a family. That team might be an individual that's responsible for their business. That team might be individual who's responsible for their colleagues or peers. All right. They might have a group association that decide to sign up under you, but they are all primed to save. So you're already saving 1 gram of gold a month. If each of those entities save 1 gram of gold a month, that adds to your total net worth, because they are a part of your organization, because you sponsored them. But I, in turn, John, had also sponsored you. So if you go out and you find 5 people, as I have gone out and found 5 people, and they go out and find 5 people, as your 5 go out and find 5 people, as you bring them on along in that line, you develop a massive cauldron of value. And then Karatbars calculates the value, hence adding to the commission you yield at the end of your month. That's how net worth is built, in just saving and duplicating. Now, when you save solely, you will see that that value added to your gold account is under My Gold. However, when you, and for those who don't know what we're talking about, when you save in a free gold savings account, Karatbars International automatically, upon your registering for the account, gives you a virtual office, multi-million dollar software is available to you just through a link, your username, and the password of your choice. And it opens up a complete statement for you to the world, not to the world, but from the world to you. It shows you the current costs of, not costs, the current values of the gold asset. It shows you what's available to you in terms of your unit level, your monthly earnings, or your weekly in terms of what you're doing weekly as a business. Or it, and as well, it shows you how many gold linked cryptocurrency coins you might have on your account, or the free ones that you received. I received over 131,000 free gold linked cryptocurrency coins today. I still don't know how I earned them, but for me, that's okay, because it still means more. And if the coin is worth 14 cents and I earned just 136 today in free coins, you could do your own math. It's actually worth more in the world of Karatbars currently as we speak in our Karabit exchange. But I'm sharing with you a process of net worth as you network. All right. It's about relationship building. So as you grow your business or just grow your savings, you amass commissions and increase value of the gold that you have saved, right? Because gold at $1,100 an ounce a few days ago, a few years ago, is now almost $1,500 an ounce, hovering between $1,400 and almost $1,600 an ounce. So what is that telling you? That's telling you that you're already ahead in the system and you're winning. So the other thing I want you to understand in this process, and first, let me just say peace and power to all that are watching. I mentioned Jihad and Jeff earlier and Brother Halim, but I see Brother Thomas Adams in from all the way from Macon, Georgia, making it great. Okay. Who else do I have? Roscoe Taylor, screen's moving pretty fast. Rosalind Range. If you don't have range, you don't have Roz. Brother Amar Berry. Yes, Roz, it's necessary. Shahid Ali, Assalamu alaikum. Oh, Brother Michael El Dalco, I appreciate you so much, brother. I really appreciate you so much. So this is where we're going with this. Brother Rafus Jones, it was great being with you in New York, brother, over there on Strong Island. You represented Michigan well. Okay, so as a wealth builder, you are automatically a networker because you have to relate, okay? The larger your warm list, the more solidly you will establish and build your business. Now, how do we find people? I am one who believes wholeheartedly that you already know the people that you need. Mr. Dalco taught me extremely well on this point about exercising massive action. Look at this. By age 30, the social psychologists have estimated that the average person already literally knows 2,000 people on a first name basis by the age of 30. This is where the notion of building a list of 2,000 people came from in the early ages of networking, of marketing, you know, direct sales, where we didn't have all this internet and man, we didn't have cell phones. You see, everything was done on a hope and a prayer. You make a call, you drove somewhere. You made a call, you rode somewhere. You made a call, you flew somewhere, hoping that the people remembered to be where they said they were going to be after you put out the expense to get there. Okay. So that's where the 2,000 people list came from. I don't have mine here in this trading room, but I shared with you often. I will show you the stream and I will show you my bound book, and I will show you how I added to my list every day. Every day I add to the list. Every day I look to add 100 people to the list that I maintain on a regular basis, and I take massive action at a certain juncture, at a certain point in the day. I'll even alternate the times of day at which I do it so I don't grow stagnant and stale. I'll alternate to work around whatever I need to schedule for myself, for my family, for my additional workloads, whatever the case is. And then I cut off the phone. I get away from responding to people in Messenger and all that kind of stuff. And I use that time, whether it's 15 minutes or whether it's an hour and 5, I will use that time solely to prospect, present, close. Prospect, present, close. Prospect, present, close. And when that time is done, then I'll entertain other things. So in the Wealth Builders, in the world of Wealth Builders, on our map, which stands for Massive Action Plan, found on www.mywbw.net, or for some wealthbuildersworldwide.info or .net, we are asked to make a list of 100 people. In fact, in our world, in our culture, you aren't even considered to have a list if you have less than 100 people. So how do you find people? Who's on your list? Finding your trigger, okay? The trigger is that which jogs your memory. You're not relying solely on recall based on the question of who do I know, but you must push the envelope to stir the mental. What do I mean? Okay. I've heard it said from Sister Edith Smith, the Gold Diva, Edith Smith and CeCe Mahone, and they got it from their mentors, of course, but they always shared with me, you have to put it to ink to think. To put it in ink is to think. All right. So this is how you stir your mental and develop retention. You get paper, you get pen, not just something random. You have a book, you have a collective of things that you have stapled or bound together, but you get something you're dedicating just to your business or just to your premier savings plan, right? Okay, so then you start writing. Who do you know? Who do you respect? Who shows genuine concern for other people? Who's active in their church or their mosque, or who seems to always like or do personal counseling, spiritual leaders, doctors, lawyers, etc. Who's a professional who is very active in clubs and different organizations, or teaches in a school or a business, or deals with the public, like police officers or firefighters or mail carriers or sanitation workers, landscapers, or, even city officials. These are things that we're not made to generally think upon because we have boxed ourselves in. We placed ourselves in a little bubble, and we only allow that bubble to do certain things, but we don't consider what's beyond that paradigm, or what the commercials used to say, beyond the paradigm, right? Who do you know as management or supervising or training capacity? Someone who's looking for more out of life, everything in life speaks to your market. Everything, because it's all connected. You're looking for the ambitious. Who do you know that's ambitious? Who do you know that's assertive? Who's on the go? How about someone you consider a leader, or someone who attracts leaders? How about this? How about children who just started middle school or high school or college, or has children who have special talents? What about those children who have talents they need developed? Okay, all of these things feed into your warm list. We're not generally made to think on the people that we know and engage with every single day. But when we focus on it, we tunnel ourselves and we short-sight ourselves. In the past, where people talked about getting 2,000 names, it was such an arduous task. People say, man, I can't even wrap my head around that. So they may come back with just, a couple hundred and feel like they failed. In Wealth Builders, we ask you to go after at least 100 people, because that's really a no-brainer. 100 people. 100 people who know you when they hear your name. Okay, and so that's what you work from. All right, but it doesn't hurt, because in Massive Action, when I heard from Mr. Dalco and Mr. Best on how they approach this business, and what Mr. Best guaranteed Mr. Dalco, if you do this, when you call these 300 people, within 90 days, you will have a business. Well, we were dealing out of certain ratios, and I learned a formula from Mr. Dalco where he shared with me about 100 people, 20 and 5. Now, I had just come into the world of Karatbars. He said, you peel to 100 people, 20 will respond, 5 will join you, but 2 will be rock stars. 2 will be your go-getters. 2 will be your runners. Well, I need more than 2 in my mind. I need runners to be runners. I need to run with runners. So I didn't go after 100 people over a course of a month, or 100 people over a course of 2 months. I went after 100 people per day for the first 7 days of my experience in wealth building. For the first 7 days, I went after 100 people a day. I went through email. I went through text messages. I went through straight phone calling. I did phone calling first. I did phone calling, email, text messaging, right? And then 2 of those days within the 7, I used for follow-up, because I heard during my course of reaching out to people, I heard from Miss Tanisha Glaspie, who said, the fortune is in the follow-up. So I went and got down myself. I went out there and started following with the people that I made contact with. Then I started learning more about the different trainings and things that we had available to us, the Tuesday and Thursday night calls, you know, and how you can utilize your time best and maximize the effort with the opportunity. Now we have launch parties, but when I came, which is a few short months ago, we didn't have launch parties. We had our general fast track training, and it seemed like every 10 minutes I would see another stream from Mr. Dalco or Mr. Best or some leader or who would come up and just share out of their experience, and it added rather measures to my confidence beyond my dreams. Because I said, man, this is everyday sister and brother. They doing it. I know I can do it. I'm getting down with them. I'm running with them because they shown themselves to be runners. So I in turn desire to be a runner, and I in turn desire to run with runners. Okay, so I followed that formula, and that formula yielded me immediate success. My wife and I both qualified for 5 and 5 incentive. We both got upgrades to our packages. We both went to Maryland to a Super Saturday in Maryland, and that was the first time we had physically met Mr. Best and Mr. Dalco. We were blown away. We knew we were in the right place, though. You see? Okay, so think about the people. Think about the people. Look, you know, you have business owners. Who do you know that's a business owner? Who do you know who's holds a very responsible position, but it causes them so much stress and pressure, they just want to get out? See, it doesn't have to be just that positive title or positive attitude or sensational zeal or energy that you see out there extended by people. You're also looking for the people who are just like you, sick and tired of being sick and tired. There are people holding jobs down right now because they thought and think they have to. Some of you already know my story. I'm not talking about the part where my wife tricked me into the business. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how when I was working 87 hours a week in a particular hotel in the arena of hospitality, because that's the only option I knew. That's what I thought I had to do. You understand? 87 hours a week. So when I left in the morning or in the evening, my wife and the children would sleep. When I came home in the morning or the evening, my wife and children would sleep. I didn't know how bad I looked. I didn't know how bad my health disposition was. I didn't know how miserable I was because I was just merely existing, going about the task. Remember, it's Benjamin Franklin who said that you live until you're 18 years old and you're buried at 65. So what happened between 19 and 65? Just existing. You're suffering through that 40-40-40 plan. You know the plan. 40 hours a week, 40 years of your life, retiring on 40 less of the income, 40% less income than what you were working for in the first place. So there are people who are out here that are under so much stress, under so much pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, they want freedom. You might have some that are out there considering professions, changing career jobs or recently changed jobs, right? Or unable to advance in their job because the job is not designed to advance you beyond their need. The job is not designed that way. So you have the crab of barrel mentality. You start excelling under your supervisor or your manager, they will remove you, they will replace you, they'll work around you to keep their own personal job security. Your talents are held back in that kind of situation. People are starving. They're starving to be free. They're starving to be recognized. They're starving. You have a list, family. Look at the people who just started selling or they may be experienced salespeople. You know, think of the places you go. Someone who relies on his or her ideas for their livelihood, that's a dreamer, folks. Someone who relies on his or her ideas for their livelihood, that I say is a dreamer. I hear you, brother Carlito says the list is distorted. No one can read it, but it's okay because it's recorded, so you can go back to it and sort of pick through it. And I apologize for the fonts, but there's nothing I can do to correct that right now. Thank you. All right. So someone who relies on their ideas for their livelihood, these are leaders. Think about all the authors, designers, the artists, the promoters, the advertisers that have, people who have gone to, or maybe started a career and haven't really gotten it off the ground, or started a job rather, or a business, and it's failed on them. And so they go back to start over again. They go to trade school, they go to business school, or they may have just graduated looking to get started. People who just got married or recently began a family. People who knows everybody in town. When I was blessed to be with Mr. Best and Mr. Dalco at a few of the hotels around the city, they were impressed with the fact that all of us knew each other. Everybody that worked in that food and beverage environment. I would go to a hotel, everybody knew Brother Teray, I knew them. We went through an experience yesterday, and people were just greeting, and I'm used to them greeting. I'm used to talking with them. And Mr. Dalco said, "And you're a blessed man." And I couldn't tell you how that resonated with me, how it helped me to feel. Because, your eyes, the Turkish proverb says, sees everyone but yourself. So you only hope that you're doing the kind of work, or you have the kind of relationships with people that inspire them to be better, because I don't see them as the people. When I see them as people who can have more and deserve, Okay. So just think about this kind of stuff. How about those people that exude credibility, the people who are elected to office, the people who just you consider really powerful entities, players, okay? You may have played sports with them coming up. Brother Mustafa was sharing with me how he and his family were in his family in North Carolina, his in-laws in North Carolina. They came across people who they weren't necessarily into the opportunity themselves as their family members, but when they talked to their friends and colleagues, they found out that one of their dearest friends and closest advisors is a cousin of Mr. Ty Best. It blew their mind. It blew their mind how we're all really connected. So look, just think about the fact that you have so many ways and means by which you can develop your list. And when you think beyond the box that's been designed for you, you'll find that coming across 2,000 people, 5,000 people, 10,000 people is nothing. Think about all the people that you've come across in your life. If you're older, like myself and others, you might have been exposed to your mama and them doing Tupperware parties. Getting together in a household and having Christmas clubs and things of that nature. Encyclopedia Britannica folks used to come to the houses, knock on your door. Even the pastor who used to come for Sunday dinner, and they had to eat before you ate. And all the people that came and fawned over what they represented to make sure they had what they needed in the house. Think about all the networking that has all gone on in your life. Think about all the experience you had that you knew. How about your mama and them? How about your Baba, your father and them? Who did they know? Who did they know that you respected so much? How about the children they had who used to come by the house? I'm just trying to hit them triggers, y'all. I'm just trying to show you how easy it is to do what you need to do. It goes on and on and on. You've grown up in life. Some of you have bought homes. Who's your real estate agent? Who's your mail carrier? Who's your maintenance person? Who's your landscaper? All of you have gone out from time to time. Who are your tailors? Who gets your hair did? Who handles your nails? Kim Fong. You see? So your ability to network, lawyers, doctors, I went to a series of doctors this week just to make sure I was straight when I touched down in Jackson, Mississippi in a few hours. You see, we all have a list. And if we learn to jog our mind, our mental, with a trigger, and committed to paper and pen, what are you committing? You're committing an experience, an intended experience. You ever write a will? You ever I, so-and-so of sound mind and body, declare the following, right? You're willing something into fruition before you leave. The same principle when you think with ink. I'm writing the name Carlito Muhammad. I'm writing the name Michael L. Dalco. I'm writing the name C.C. Mahone. I'm writing the name Damawi Damawi. I'm writing Roz Range. I'm writing Michael Thornton. I'm writing April Johnson. I'm writing Patrick Lamar. I'm writing these names because, why? I have an opportunity to share with each of them. Miss Sherry Brown, she played a beautiful pre-call in the power call yesterday. And in that pre-call, the ultimate instruction, the ultimate piece that I gleaned from it, make your list. Call the people. Tell your story. Make your list. Call the people. Tell your story. Your story is not your lack of confidence. Your story is not how you see yourself. Your story is the opportunity by which has been introduced to you that you have fully embraced. You can save in gold. You can get others to save in gold. You are not responsible for them to saving in gold, but you can absolutely tell them of the story. And what will happen? Circumstances will bring them. Every no only means not right now, not yet. But the more you get, the more you'll grow. The more you get no's, eventually the no's will reverse and it'll turn to on. Yep, it'll be on. Your dentists, your doctors, your lawyers, your insurance agents, just think about this stuff. Home repairs, you know, who delivers your mail? Some of you have dogs. Who's your groomer? Who's your veterinarian? Okay, your dry cleaning, all this stuff. Who works on your cars? I didn't even touch about family, friends, fraternity, sorority members. I left that for last just to prick the conscience. Look at all the people you know, and it didn't even include your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your nieces, your nephews, your grandparents. It didn't include none of them. But you can literally pull dozens out of each category that we shared. And if you do that, and you make that list, and you committed, oh, this is upside down, you committed, you are partially on the road to making things happen for yourself in the ways that you can never quantify. Why is it so important to move like this now? Because there's a saying in the world of business, you know, when I say business, I'm using that loosely because some of that business can be considered that of what's known as the grimy, okay? But it's all about, there are times where it's not about, rather, who you know. It comes a point where it's all about who knows you. So when you develop the list, I'm showing you the reward of the list. When you develop the list and you lay out all whom you know and you introduce to them the opportunity, doesn't matter if they're black, doesn't matter if they're white, doesn't matter if it's part of your homogeneous pool. It doesn't matter if they're rich or poor. It doesn't matter if they're successful or not so successful. It doesn't matter what their genre is. I mean, the list will sort itself. But what matters is you've talked to everybody, because when this thing comes to light, when this opportunity of what the world of Caraballs actually is, then it's not a matter of who you know anymore. It becomes who knows you. Your warm list, ladies and gentlemen, is your strength. The longer your warm list, the stronger your success. Walaikum salam, Brother Roland Muhammad. Hey, Sister Alicia Minto. Alicia, the mentor, Minto. And she makes some bomb posts, y'all. Excuse the vernacular. So I hope you understand what I'm sharing with you. And in case you need a little dose of something, I'm going to give this to you before we close out. This is for you.
You got to have the courage. Do you have the courage to act outwardly on what you see inwardly? Or will you die a dreamer? Will you die on verge, on the edge, and in the land of put up, wood up, and sugar? Do you have the courage? I'm going to talk to someone. It takes courage to be successful. It is far easier not to be successful. Misery will always have company. Success breeds contempt. If you don't want to make waves, be mediocre. Be normal and fit in. And if you're more concerned about people than you are God, then neutralize everything He put in you. Just fit in with everybody else. Dress like them, walk like them, act like them, eat like them, go where they go, think like they think, do what they do. And once you neutralize your uniqueness, you don't need courage. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to go where you've never gone before. For some of you, it took courage to come to this conference. It takes courage to get you outside of the box. It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you. Do you have the courage to stand there though the storms keep raging and the people get to talking and you stand yourself to run, to turn around? Do you have the courage? I'm going to say something. It takes courage to be exceptional. It takes courage to be wise. It takes courage to be rich. It takes courage to be educated. It takes courage to be knowledgeable. Because the moment you do it, you don't talk like you know, you forgot where you came from. Look at you talking. It takes courage. I'm just wondering, in this weak, watered down, mediocre society that we live in today, in this reality TV world we live in today, I'm wondering if there's anybody left that's got the courage to say, after all I've been through, and all my ancestors have been through, and all my parents have been through, I didn't put through all of that just to fit in with normalcy. I have the courage to go after my dream instead of running left in this entire coliseum that's got some courage.
Thank you, family, for this opportunity to share with you as we have done this afternoon. I pray that you find something in this that's workable and doable in building your savings and your business. Today is Thursday. I encourage all of you to join us tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm sorry, 9 p.m. Eastern time for our training on www.goldrocks.info with Brother Gregory McKay and the team. And we thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm your brother and friend, Brother Eric Trey Muhammad. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on the next live stream, in the next training. And this will be up for a while. Then it'll be moved to YouTube. Peace and power forward.
The emotional relationship that you have, that you don't have the energy to think the thoughts you need to